Hi everyone, Scott Pyre, Pop Cult fan here. I want to do something a little bit different with this video. I want to talk about the new Five Nights at Freddy's game that just came out last Friday. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a gameplay playing over my voice while I'm talking, and to give guys a bit of a gist of this game while I'm talking about it. So let's go ahead and get into this. This game in particular, Secret of the Mimic, is considered a prequel basically to a lot of the other games, right? You see the gameplay, a lot of the technology is very 70s inspired, very similar to Alien Isolation, which is another really good example of something that is a video game, kind of, taking inspiration from 1970s related technology. And you really see that in the gameplay for Secret of the Mimic, which I think provides an interesting level of atmosphere as well. Like, I love the atmosphere with this game, Secret of the Mimic, and a lot of the new designs of these animatronics. There's this new model, well, I guess old model technically, of Chica, and I think that is really a very interesting design of Chica. Let's just say that. I guess it's kind of like one of the first models of Chica that was created, as well as also Foxy. You have all these characters, all these colorful animatronics that you're seeing here. There's even this one that's basically like a check in the box animatronic, and that one was actually kind of terrifying, as well as this kind of nurse animatronic, and just all these like animatronics are creepy while at the same time very unique in design, and I really like that about this particular game. Then obviously, of course, the main antagonist of this particular game is the Mimic, and the Mimic animatronic was introduced in the Ruin DLC for Security Breach. And there's another thing I want to touch upon here with this game, because it does break the mold compared to previous Five Nights at Freddy's games, and you see how it's kind of transitioning to this more like AAA title kind of experience, where you're traversing through this environment similar to Security Breach. You're solving puzzles, you're finding collectibles, and it just, because of that, it just feels a little bit more like it feels more like an actual game akin to something like maybe it's Resident Evil, for example, like Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 8 Village. It kind of going into the territory a little bit more, being a first-person exploration kind of game of solving puzzles and stuff, and that's what I like about this one. And also, like I was saying about it being a prequel, and I believe, I'm not sure what the exact year is that this is taking place, but I know it's taking place in the 1970s. I think maybe like 1979, maybe. And I think that's really fascinating. And also the backstory of the Mimic character too, and how it was created, and for why it was created. And a lot of that backstory there was surprising, and I liked how it kind of set up this kind of scenario in the ending where you see what will eventually become the iconic restaurant that we all know of from the original game. And that's all I'm gonna say about that. That's all I'm gonna say. But I thought it was very fascinating, and some of the twists and turns in the ending was really fascinating and intriguing and creepy at the same time. Kind of sad a little bit too. And I like where the story goes, especially for the character you're playing as, Arnold. That's his name. Arnold. But yeah, I think I haven't played the game myself, but I'm watching walkthroughs of it on YouTube, and it looks like a really solid adventure in a new main series, Five Nights at Freddy's game, that I think could potentially get a spin-off maybe if they wanted to do that as well for this. And Who knows if they'll make another mainline Five Nights at Freddy's game that's after Security Breach, not necessarily a prequel. Next time they do that, but yes, so that should do it for this video. I just want to give my thoughts on this game. So I'll catch you guys next time, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.